Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for November 2022. You start off with this new moon in Cancer card. It says you and your loved ones are safe. You also have this new moon in Scorpio. It says work through your fears. So I feel for a lot of you, clearly you could be overcoming some fears or some illusions. Kind of feel like you're overcoming illusions for some reason. Well, really, I know the reason. It's because you have the Death card right here. And the Death card has the two pillars from the moon in the background of the card, but the sun is coming up between those two pillars. You also have the Tower in your first position. This first row represents your past, so I feel like you've been through a recent Tower moment, but I also feel this is amazing because you go Tower, Death card to the Empress, and it doesn't matter what gender you are. I feel like you're showing up as the Empress here, so you're showing up in a very strong position. So I kind of feel like this is saying that a recent Tower moment is actually leading to your, biggest glow up yet, or your biggest transformation yet. So I really love where this is going. And even everything from here, this is your present to the future, looks amazing. So wouldn't even worry about this here, Aquarius. But you have the Knight of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Tower. Again, some of you could have been dealing with like inconsistent energy in a relationship. Could have been with a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Taurus. A Taurus. That's about it. Could have been an Aquarius, I guess. It could have been an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or a Leo. Pisces also stands out to me here twice. And so I would say that it could have been with one of those signs that you had a Tower moment with or falling out with, but it's probably due to inconsistent behavior, in and out behavior, or something like that with the Knight of Wands. The funny thing is I also feel this is attached to your present for some reason, this Knight of Wands, but not a person. I feel like you're in this energy of building, which is amazing. I feel like whatever you're building could be like a business, could be a new relationship, absolutely. It's probably a combination of things, really. I don't think you're focusing on just one thing, and I feel like we rarely ever do that as humans anyway, but, I feel you're kind of focused on big picture stuff here. I feel like you need to trust your intuition at this time. Even though this is showing up in the past position, there's been like some pretty significant intuitive messages coming up for pretty much everyone, which tells me that whatever's going on up there, there's some crazy stuff, I feel, that could be firing up our intuition, delivering us messages. And that's what I would do here. There is an element of needing to take control here with the High Priestess as well. And what I mean by that is that she has this crown on her head, and it shows 3 stages of the moon. But it kind of represents the fact that she sees the beginning, middle, and end of all situations in her life before they happen. That does not mean that she's literally seeing the future. She's creating the future that she wants with her vision. So she doesn't see the future, she creates it. And there's a difference there. So you have the Spider card in your future position. Spiders are all about kind of like weaving your own destiny, or kind of telling the story that you want to tell. So I would, number one, watch your words, but also I would be picturing, imagining how you want your future life to be before you have it. It's just that simple. You're creating it in front of you. You have the Tower, and again, I definitely feel that something wouldn't change here, is what I feel in the recent past. Could have been a person, a job, a business, whatever. And now you're creating change. But again, this is leading to a very powerful kind of glow up here with that Empress energy. With the Knight of Wands here, you have the Judgment card. So, again, I personally, to me, when I get a reading with the Judgment card and the Tower, this is a very strong combination. To me, it's the most powerful combination in the tarot, and it just represents a very significant, like, wake-up call, or a significant, change that you're making. It's kind of like a major revelation, as I always say, when I get these two cards together. I haven't seen this for a while, where someone has had both kind of in the same row, or in the, on top of each other, or whatever. So I feel like a lot of you had a major wake-up call, but it's not like, it's kind of interesting because I feel very differently. Normally, there's a higher self angel on the Judgment card, so it kind of suggests that this wake-up call normally comes from your higher self. I don't feel that for you. I feel this came from you, is what I would say. It feels much more personal to me. I hope that makes sense. And, I feel like you had a realization in the recent past, and maybe that's what caused the Tower moment. I don't think that's true for all of you, but for some of you. And again, is this a bad thing? Hell no. It's like sometimes I think we can choose a Tower moment because we know it's the right thing to do, even though it sucks. But we also know that we're going to be rebuilding something bigger and better, which it looks like you're doing. With the High Priestess, you have the Seven of Swords, lying, cheating, stealing. Definitely could have been dealing with like a liar, cheater, stealer, for sure. And again, I feel like you always knew in the back of your mind that something wasn't right. I feel like you always knew that something was hidden here, and I would just say this is confirmation that you're probably correct. So, I would just trust your intuition. If nothing else, I feel that this past Tower moment taught you to trust your intuition. You also have the Tower, you have the Lovers, so curveball, definitely doesn't want to focus, but that's fine. Could have been like a love situation that caused this to happen. It's also kind of interesting as well that, sorry, I have to block this because YouTube is immature, and now they started punishing videos that show nudity. So I can't show this card anyway, but you see how this higher self angel is like kind of like angrier looking than this one right here. They're both your higher self angel, but this one, I don't look at it. It looks like more fiery or something like that. I don't know. But what I would say here is I feel like maybe you ignored something the first time, the second time, third time, and now you can't ignore it any longer. So it's like you're moving on from something is what I feel here with that energy. Next, in your present position, you have 3 cards. You have this brown bear spirit, says take time out. You have this butterfly spirit, says transformation is beautiful. And you also have this cat spirit, which says claim your independence. So I feel like you have been gathering your resources for quite a long time with this brown bear spirit. It kind of feels like something you've been doing for like 8-9 years. Maybe you've been in business for 8 or 9 years, or maybe you've been thinking about a business, or you're finally reaching some sort of peak in your career or work. And I feel there's an increase in your resources. Empress, 9 of Pentacles, really good cards for that. You also have this Pearl card at the end, which is a really good card. With these 2 cards, I feel like you have learned to become more independent, and it could be because of this past Tower moment, whatever it was. And this doesn't necessarily mean independence, like in love, for example. I feel maybe you're becoming financially independent, or, kind of something else. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Death card, and the 6 of Cups here. Page of Pentacles is like communication, so I do feel like there could be good news kind of on its way to you, especially for those of you that have been waiting for something that could, again, lead to your independence. This could be anything. Maybe you're getting a divorce, and I feel like there could be news here. I'm getting a lot of stuff on this Page of Pentacles. It could be, maybe you've been waiting for a job and you get some information that you're going to be getting hired, or you're getting news that you've been hired. So I don't know. This feels pretty good to me, this Page of Pentacles. I also feel like you're just kind of in this more, it's kind of weird because I get like a much more, free-spirited vibe from this Page of Pentacles. I can't really grab onto it, but I feel you're kind of in this free space where you're saying to yourself that you're just kind of being willing to go on adventures in life and be more free-spirited and be more open to new opportunities that present themselves to you. I kind of get that feeling of, it's like, I don't really have a good example. Other than, when I was a kid, it's like I said, when I grow up and I move out, I'm going to eat, 300 gallons of ice cream every single day, right? It's like you go nuts the second you're set free, right? I don't think you're going nuts. I don't think you're doing anything destructive, but I feel like you're being set free from something. We even see that here. Again, you have that butterfly card. It says transformation is beautiful. You have this death card, which is definitely a transformation that is coming in for you. So I feel there's a big change or transformation. And you have these 6 of Cups. Like what I feel this is saying is that what you can't change in the past, you're changing in the future. And so it's kind of a weird feeling I get here because you're not really, I don't necessarily think you're thinking about the past or anything like that. You could, of course, we all think about the past from time to time, but I feel like you're kind of thinking about things and you're saying like, okay, like I made these mistakes, I'm going to make sure to avoid them in the future. I get a much different feeling off of that 6 of Cups. For some of you, again, this could be like an ex coming back here because 6 of Cups to the Wheel of Fortune. Although, again, based off this first row, if someone was a liar, cheater, stealer, do people really stop doing that? Probably not. So I would be careful of that. And again, of course, that's not going to be true for all of you. So, what I would say here is it's just saying, like, make sure not to repeat a cycle with that Wheel of Fortune. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the 3 of Cups. You have 3 of Cups to the 3 of Cups right here. So there could be some sort of celebration or happiness coming in for you going this direction. So like I said, I feel there could be like a celebration or reunion coming in. This could also involve family, like a family reunion, because you have the Hierophant, which could be family. With the Death card, you have the Star card, which I have to cover because YouTube is immature. But what I would say here is that I feel for a lot of you that there could be some sort of happiness or joy coming in for you. with this star energy. And I also feel like great healing. And, really, this is what we want. We want to have the tower to the star. We want that star energy because, the star kind of represents healing from a tower moment. The star comes up after the tower. With the Six of Cups, you have the moon. Like I said, moon. I was getting moon energy. We talked about this with the death card at the beginning of the reading. So I feel for a lot of you that you're actually leaving a moon period. I feel like you're getting out of a period of kind of like uncertainty, the unknown, not knowing what to do, like all that other stuff. And so now I feel like kind of like what to do in your life. And you're very focused maybe on doing what you need to do in life to get ahead. So again, I actually like the moon because the sun is coming up again on the death card. It's like you're leaving a moon period. Next, in the area of your future, you have this Wervin card. It says your secrets are safe. You also have the Spider card. It says be meticulous and patient. So if you have any secrets, I guess they're not coming out. If you don't have secrets, I just feel that the Spider is saying it's time for you to tell the story that you want to tell. But again, I would live it in your head with the High Priestess. Like I said, the High Priestess is kind of about imagining something into existence or imagining things how you want them to go in your head so that you can create what you want. And that's exactly what I'd be doing here with that Spider energy is I would be creating things as you want them to be. You have the Empress, the Hierophant, and the Page of Cups. You have the High Priestess and the Hierophant here, which are, they are divine counterparts. So for some of you, you could be attracting a divine counterpart here. I feel like you're very attractive at this time with the with the Empress. So I feel you're just attracting things. I also feel like you're very creative, and I would be tapping into that creative energy because I feel like you could be like creating a lot of abundance, including money with this Empress energy. It's like you're doing things, whatever you're working on, I feel is working. The other thing is I would be learning as much as you can. You have the Page of Pentacles. You have this Hierophant energy here as well. Both cards kind of represent education and learning. You also have the Nine of Pentacles, which she has grapes behind her. I'll just show you. She has grapes behind her on this card. Grapes in the tarot represent being able to grow something that requires a lot of skill. So I feel you could be gaining some skills that are going to be extremely valuable for you in the future. I also, if you want love, by the way, feel there could clearly be love coming in for you. And with the Hierophant here, it could be like a person that you get married to in the future. It doesn't have to happen right now, but I guess it could if you want it. Again, another card of dreaming, by the way. He has this fish in the cup on the Page of Cups. And it kind of represents something that is in his imagination. That fish might not exist. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, we don't know. And it might be something that he is imagining as happening in his life. But he just needs to kind of like bring that fish down to earth. So I would make sure that you're practicing your powers of manifestation to kind of like get the things that you want in life so that you can be successful, obviously. With the Empress, you have the Two of Pentacles here. Two of Pentacles has come up for everyone. Two of Pentacles like work hard, play hard. It's a card of like putting in the energy to into work, but also making sure you're balancing it out with, love or something that you love. I've been getting a lot of messages recently that I think people should even be taking part in like hobbies or things that they're interested in. Just because, like, again, I think that's when we get out of our head. That's when we stop thinking about all the worries and concerns of the world, right? And, what I would say here is I think we just need a break, some of us. So I would make sure you're taking a break. With the Hierophant, you have the Page of Swords, all these pages coming up here. For some of you, I'm wondering if you're like kind of learning how to tell a difference between kind of mature energy and immature energy with the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is going towards the Death card and the Star as well, which is interesting. So to me, it kind of suggests that maybe you're maturing to a new level in your life, which is nice. With the Page of Cups, you have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords can be a card of separation, of course. But really, the Five of Swords to me can be a card of taking a risk. And I don't always feel that, but I definitely feel that for you. And I'm not saying you didn't undergo a transformation, or a separation. We know, I've been talking about that Tower moment since the beginning with the Lovers. You definitely could have gone through some sort of transformation, or some sort of separation. Although I keep wanting to say transformation. I feel like it's probably both. But, I feel for a lot of you, the Five of Swords is encouraging you to take a risk to kind of do something new. Next, in the area of your outcome, you have this I card. It says envy, protection. Every single person has had something about jealousy. I would ignore jealousy. Again, Mars retrograde. Every 2 years, we have Mars retrograde. Every 2 years, go back 2 years and look at my videos from the last one. I guarantee you, I probably said the same thing I'm about to say, which is ignore jealousy, ignore gossip, ignore anyone talking behind your back. It doesn't matter. And it's like the problem with Mars retrograde is it might feel like it matters in the moment, but after Mars retrograde, it never matters. So, I would ignore envy, jealousy, gossip. I wouldn't take part in it at all, period. It'll just come back to haunt you. So I would ignore it. It's always best to ignore it during Mars retrograde because you always are vindicated, sometimes even before the retrograde ends, even if this happens. But also, here's the other thing. It's like sometimes we kind of create it in our head with Mars retrograde where we think someone's talking about us. We think someone is doing something behind our back, but it just isn't true. So, I would just be careful there. You have this pearl. It says hidden gem on it. So I do feel there's a lot of abundance coming in for you. This abundance is coming from you, though, Aquarius. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Cups. This is what really tells me that you are the one that is creating abundance. You are the one that is, creating this goodness in your life. So I would pay attention to your goodness with this Nine of Pentacles energy. I feel like there's a lot of abundance and success available to you, but it's going to come through your own efforts, is what the Nine of Pentacles says. I would also look at your environment as well. It's like, all year I've been getting these messages of environment and like, can you make sure that you're creating an environment of success in your life so that you can do the work that you need to do to be successful? And if the answer is yes, then that's exactly what I'd be doing. You have the Wheel of Fortune, definitely a change in your destiny, but like I said, I feel it's because you're taking more control over it. The other thing that I like to point out with the Wheel of Fortune is that it's kind of like your personal vision for your life. It's just, it's your destiny in the sense that it's how you see your destiny. It's how you see fate working in your life. And remember what I said with the High Priestess, I feel like you can control pretty much everything in the near future by creating it in your head first. So I would be doing that. You also have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a celebration, so I feel there's a lot of reasons. Really what I'm getting here on the Three of Cups is nothing other than I feel like there are a lot of reasons to celebrate in the near future, probably because your hard work or probably because of, things that you've done in your life. I feel it's almost as if there are rewards coming in, is really what I'm trying to say. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Hermit. For some reason, I thought you had the Hermit twice, but the Hermit can represent climbing to the top of the mountain, kind of like going through a dark night of the soul. I mean, really, the past 4 years or so has been like a collective dark night of the soul. So I don't know. I think we're all going through it, is what I would say there. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Wands again. So again, I would remain independent from anyone inconsistent in your life because you don't want that rubbing off on you, is what I would say with this energy. I would just be careful, of anything inconsistent in your life. If you don't have anything inconsistent in your life, then I just wouldn't worry about it. With the Three of Cups, you have the High Priestess. Definitely trust your intuition. High Priestess twice. Trust your intuition. Some of you could be dealing with a Pisces as well here. So there could be a reunion with a Pisces. But again, if this person was a liar, I would be very careful with this energy because it's like, do you want lightning to strike twice? Probably not, is what I'd say there. So that's that, Aquarius. We're going to pull 3 cards now. I'm going to do kind of like a personalish reading with this. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm only going to answer one question. And so feel free to pause this reading if you need to think of a question. If you don't have a question, that's fine too. I'm going to put all the cards together and we're going to see what comes up. It's kind of interesting. This Knight of Swords wouldn't, I don't know if you could see it over here. It would not, this is not sticky or anything, but I could not get it off that deck. So, again, I wouldn't rush anything at this time with that Knight of Swords popping off or not wanting to come off there. I definitely wouldn't rush. I also wouldn't jump to conclusions at this time, Mars retrograde. So again, feel free to pause if you haven't thought of a question. But you have the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. This could be a knight in shining armor coming for those of you that want love. For others, I feel like this is saying, get to work on a dream. Six of Pentacles is like planting seeds. Knight of Cups is your dream. Eight of Pentacles says, if you put the work in, you're going to see results. Eight of Pentacles is my card of material success on the horizon. So, and if you're asking for love, by the way, I would definitely say it is clearly safe for you to invest with a person. If you're asking about a person, if you're asking about money, same thing. I feel like it is safe for you to invest your own efforts because Eight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, these are cards of your effort. And you have several cards here in your reading itself that to me kind of really represent your own effort, putting your own effort into something to make it successful. If you do that, you're going to be very successful. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward stuff here. No reason to drag it out. So thank you for being here, Aquarius. Really appreciate it. Looks like a great reading. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.